Today we are going to discuss the Security Regulation Code Republic Act 8799. The Security Regulation Code will be easier to understand if you know its purpose or purposes. And these are the purpose of the law. First is to establish socially conscious free market that regulates itself. Second is to encourage the widest participation of ownership in enterprises like corporation. Third is to enhance the democratization of wealth. Fourth is to promote the development of the capital market. Fifth, this is important, to protect investors because the purpose of SRC is to protect the investing public. 6. To ensure full and fair disclosure about securities. And number 7 is to minimize, if not totally eliminate, insider trading and other fraudulent or manipulative devices and practices which create distortions in the free market. So now let's deal into subject matter. We begin with the definition of securities. These are shares, participation, or interest in corporation or in a commercial enterprise or profit-making ventures and evidenced by certificate, contract, instrument, whether it is written or electronic in character. Now, there are different kinds of securities and the SRC give us a list. The list include first is the share of stocks, bonds, debentures, notes, evidences of indebtedness, and asset-backed securities. Second, we have investment contract, certificates of interest or participation in a profit-sharing agreement, certificates of deposit for future subscription. Third, fractional undivided interest in oil, gas, or other mineral rights. Fourth, derivatives like options and warrants. And what are derivatives? Derivatives are those whose value depends on an interest in or performance of an underlying securities, but which does not require any investment of principal in an underlying securities. So what is the difference between option and warrant? Warrants may have generally longer exercise period than options. Next kind of securities is the certificate of assignment, certificate of participation, trust certificates, voting trust certificates, or similar instrument. Next is the proprietary or non-proprietary membership certificate in corporations. And last is the other instrument as may in future be determined by commission. So now let's talk about the issuer. Issuer is the maker or obligor, also called originator or creator of the security. Now let's talk about the broker and the dealer. The broker is the person engaged in business of buying and selling security for the account of other, while the dealer, person engaged in business of buying and selling securities for his or her own account. Next is associated person of a broker or dealer. This is person or employee who directly exercise control of supervisory authority. But it does not include a salesman or an agent or a person whose functions are solely clerical or ministerial. So let's proceed to clearing agency. It acts as intermediary in making deliveries upon payment to effect settlement in securities transaction. Next is the exchange. It is an organized marketplace that brings together buyers and sellers and execute trade securities and commodities. Now let's talk about the prospectus. This one is made by on behalf of issuer, underwriter, or dealer to sell securities for sale to the public through registration statement filed with the commission. We also have promoter. This is a person who organizes business or enterprise of the issuer that receive considerations. Next, the registration statement. This is an application for the registration of security that requires by SEC. Because all the security must first have a registration statement duly filed with the SEC before they may be sold or offered for sale in the Philippines. Salesman. This one is employed by the dealer or issuer that buy and sell securities but has no directly supervisory authority. Next, we have uncertificated security. This is security evidence by electronic or similar records. We also have underwriter. This one is a person who guarantees on a firm commitment or declared best effort basis on the distribution and sale of securities by another company. We also have insiders. This is the person who has access to information about the issuer or the security that is not generally available to public. And last, we have pre-need plans. These are the contract which provide for the performance of a future service or the payment of future monetary considerations at the time of actual need, for which plan holder pay cash or installment at stated prices, with or without interest. This includes life, pension, education, interments, which SEC time to time approve.